Sam had fought countless creatures and faced many challenges, but nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to experience, the arrival of quantum madness. It started with a strange sensation, like the world around him was bending and warping. Objects seemed to be shifting and changing, their colors and shapes morphing into something entirely different. At first, Sam thought he was going insane, but soon he realized that it wasn't just him. The whole world was affected by this phenomenon, and it was spreading rapidly. People were losing their minds, their thoughts becoming jumbled and disorganized. Reality itself seemed to be breaking down, with buildings and landscapes twisting and turning in impossible ways. Sam knew that he had to find a way to stop quantum madness before it was too late, but he didn't even know where to begin. He consulted with the Sphinx, who had studied ancient texts and had some knowledge of cosmic phenomena. Together they determined that quantum madness was caused by a tear in the fabric of space-time, a rift that allowed chaotic energies to spill into the world. Sam and the Sphinx set out to find the source of the rift, traveling across dimensions and through time itself. They faced countless obstacles, battling their way through hordes of twisted monsters and navigating treacherous landscapes. Finally, they found themselves standing before the rift itself. It was a gaping maw of energy, a swirling vortex that seemed to defy all logic and reason. Sam knew that he had to act quickly. He charged towards the rift, determined to seal it shut. But as he reached out to touch the edges of the rift, he felt a surge of power surge through him. It was as if he had tapped into the very essence of the universe itself, and he was overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of it all. Sam's mind began to unravel as he was consumed by the madness. The world around him twisted and warped, becoming a swirling vortex of chaos and destruction. But even in the midst of the madness, Sam held on to one thought. He had to seal the rift, no matter what the cost. As Sam plunged into the swirling vortex of quantum madness, he found himself in a surreal landscape, a world unlike any he had ever seen. Reality was a fluid concept here, where the laws of physics were mere suggestions and the ground beneath his feet shifted like quicksand. Sam fought to maintain his focus as he was bombarded by bizarre and monstrous creatures that lurked within this chaotic realm. Sam and the Sphinx fought bravely against the creatures of the quantum madness, but they were relentless. Their forms twisted and changed erratically, making them difficult to hit. Sam was battered and bruised, but he refused to give up. He knew that if he failed, the quantum madness would consume the entire universe. Suddenly, Sam found himself surrounded by a group of strange beings. They were tall and slender, with pale skin and large, luminous eyes. They wore flowing robes that shimmered with otherworldly light. "Who are you?" Sam asked, his voice trembling. "We are the guardians of the cosmos," one of the beings replied. "We have been watching you, Sam. We know of your quest to seal the rift in space-time." "I need your help," Sam said. "I can't do this alone." The guardians nodded. "We will aid you," they said, "but you must be prepared. The journey ahead will be perilous." Sam took a deep breath. "I'm ready," he said. The Guardians led Sam through the swirling vortex of quantum madness. They passed through strange and wondrous worlds, each more bizarre than the last. Sam saw landscapes that defied all logic and reason, and creatures that were unlike anything he had ever imagined. Finally, the Guardians brought Sam to the source of the rift. It was a massive black hole, a swirling maw of darkness that consumed everything that came too close. "This is it," one of the Guardians said. "You must seal this rift, or the quantum madness will consume all." Sam nodded. He and the Sphinx took a deep breath and stepped into the black hole. They found themselves in a void, a place where nothing existed. They were surrounded by darkness and could feel the quantum madness tugging at their minds, trying to consume them. But Sam and the Sphinx both resisted. They focused on the task at hand. They had to seal the rift. Sam and the Sphinx reached out with their mind, and they tapped into the power of the universe itself. They both channeled all of their energy into the rift, and they began to force it shut. The rift resisted at first, but Sam was relentless. He and the Sphinx poured all of their strength into the task, and slowly but surely, the rift began to close. Finally, the rift snapped shut, sealing the quantum madness away forever. Sam collapsed to the ground, exhausted but triumphant. They had saved the universe. The Guardians appeared before Sam and smiled. "You have done well," one of them said. "You are true heroes." They both smiled back. "We just did what had to be done," he said. The Guardians led Sam and the Sphinx out of the void and back to the real world. Sam found himself standing in the same spot where he had first encountered the quantum madness. But everything was different now. The world was no longer in chaos. The laws of physics had been restored. Sam and the Sphinx had saved the universe, and he had done it with the help of the Guardians of the Cosmos. They were true heroes, and their story would be told for generations to come. Sam lay on the ground, his body still trembling from the immense power he had channeled to seal the rift. He glanced over at the Sphinx, who was also catching their breath, their eyes filled with a mix of awe and concern. As the chaos of quantum madness subsided, a profound silence fell over the world. The once twisted buildings and landscapes slowly began to regain their original form, but the scars left by the rift were still visible. It would take time for the world to fully recover. Sam couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment and relief, knowing that they had prevented utter catastrophe. But deep inside, he also felt a lingering unease. The energy that had surged through him during the battle lingered, pulsing in his veins like an unpredictable force. The Sphinx, having recovered slightly, rose to their feet and approached Sam. They looked at him with a mix of curiosity and concern, their eyes filled with ancient wisdom. "Sam," they began, their voice laced with caution, "your connection to the rift has left a mark on you. The energy you absorbed is unlike anything we've encountered before." Sam struggled to sit up, his body still weak from the ordeal. "What do you mean, a mark?" he asked, his voice tinged with both curiosity and apprehension. The Sphinx hesitated for a moment before answering. "I believe that the rift's energy has altered the very essence of your being. You now possess a unique connection to the fabric of reality, an ability to tap into the chaotic energies that once threatened to consume us all." Sam's eyes widened with a mix of awe and fear. He had always been an ordinary person, thrust into extraordinary circumstances, but now he had become something more, something beyond human comprehension. "What does this mean for me?" Sam asked, his voice filled with trepidation. The Sphinx's gaze softened, their ancient eyes filled with compassion. "It means that you have been given a tremendous gift, but also a great responsibility. The world is forever changed, and you have the power to shape its future. But you must learn to control and harness your newfound abilities, lest they consume you." Sam nodded, a sense of determination welling up within him. He knew that he couldn't ignore the responsibility that had been thrust upon him. He had to learn to control the chaos within him and use it for the greater good. With the Sphinx's guidance, Sam began a journey of self-discovery and training. They delved into ancient texts and sought out wise beings who had mastered the forces of the universe. Sam learned to channel the chaotic energies within him, honing his abilities and using them to restore balance and harmony wherever he went. But as Sam trained, a new threat loomed on the horizon. The rift had attracted the attention of powerful beings from other dimensions, entities who sought to exploit the chaos for their own nefarious purposes. Sam knew that he had to be prepared for whatever lay ahead. Armed with his newfound powers and the knowledge bestowed upon him, Sam embarked on a new quest. Alongside the Sphinx and a group of loyal allies, he journeyed to distant realms, facing unimaginable dangers and unlocking ancient secrets. With each battle, Sam's powers grew stronger, his connection to the chaos more profound. But he also faced the constant temptation to succumb to the madness that lurked within him. It was a constant struggle, a delicate balance between order and chaos, light and darkness. As Sam faced the challenges that lay ahead, he couldn't help but wonder what the future held. Would he succumb to the madness and become a force of destruction? Or would he find a way to harness the chaos and bring about a new era of balance and harmony? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. Sam's journey had only just begun, and the world would never be the same again. Stay tuned next Friday for the next episode of Heart of the Mountain.